Can you come here for a second?
I'm coming.
Welcome to episode 75 of the Foundation First Fitness Show with Leila Owen. Sit down. We're doing this now. Let's go.
No, I have to do work.
Yeah, no, sit down. I need you right now. Sit. Okay, perfect. I'm not joking. You can stop turning around. I'm going to fix the mic for you. No, don't leave. I'm recording. No, get back. What are you doing? Get out. No, I need you. Come on, seriously.
I'm in the middle of something.
No, you're not. Let's go. Come on. I got to record this thing. Come back to this. Come on. It's about back pain. Hurry up. Let's go. Come on. She's just shy. Come on. Hurry up. I'll just run the intro and she'll appear. What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the 75th episode of the Foundation First Fitness Show. Today I'm joined by none other than Leila Owen, my sister. So many of you have seen the room back there, the door back there, and always kind of wondered what that was. If you're watching this on YouTube, you've seen it. That's actually her office. So my sister is a back specialist. I'm not reading that off here, Matt. I have no idea why I'm holding this up like that, but she's a back specialist. I'm reading nothing. It literally says back pain podcast. Back specialist, rehab specialist, AT, strength coach. So she's pretty much done it all, got it all. Yeah, pretty much just going to pick her brain today on some back pain stuff. Because I know a lot of people talk about back pain. I'm going to not go into any more detail. I'm going to let you maybe talk a bit about how you got to rehab and kind of your journey to this point in time in your career. I'm just going to fix that mic for you. All right. And take it away.
Well, I started off with having shoulder and knee pain back in my first degree from sports-related problems. So swimming and badminton playing, that didn't really help with the shoulders. And so I was first introduced to athletic therapy when I went into the McGill Clinic and met an AT there, and she described what she was doing, and we talked a lot, and it interested me a lot. So I finished my kinesiology degree and then went into athletic therapy. And then I just continued on and got more stuff.
So, okay, so I'm going to get into this right away. I'm just going to start firing off the questions here because back pain is probably one of the most predominant pain-related injuries or movement-related injuries. And a lot of people deal with it. It's probably one of the most prevalent types of pain that people are going to go see a therapist for, or just going to have kind of deal with it during the year. So what is the majority, what is the major cause? That's not even English. What usually causes back pain?
Oh, it's so many things, but
if you had to, let's go top three.
From what I see, so some things can't be. It's very strange. Some it's not explained. That's the first case, is that it's very strange. They can't describe it. They can't find out what the reason is. Really, no movement problems. There's nothing specific. That's one of them.
But is it like specifically located on their back, or is it just like kind of everywhere? They're just kind of.
It's kind of everywhere. They don't know, and that might be fibromyalgia. That might be something else. It could be psychological. They can't solve it, and unfortunately they go to mostly a pain clinic or something to deal with that.
Okay.
Either from surgeries or something, and there's nothing structurally wrong, they just don't know. The next one that I see mostly, because those people go to mostly pain clinics, what I see is mostly people that have movement issues. Mm-hmm. So what they're doing is they're going through everyday life, and they're not able to use their postural muscles properly to actually lift or perform their daily activities, and it kind of compounds over time, and that causes irritation in the back, and it becomes more and more prevalent.
So shitty movement. Oh, I probably shouldn't have said shitty.
Exactly.
Well, that's out of the bag now.
Exactly.
I'm gonna have to write explicit on the post. And third one.
Third one is again, it's I think it's still like
kind of close into movement.
Yeah, still movement, because movement really, I mean, there might be something else, but again, I already covered it broadly with the non-specific. It's just like post-surgery, we can't explain. Everything's been fixed. I don't know what's going on because MRI shows it, but I still have pain. I have no idea why. And then, yeah, so I would think movement is the other broad thing.
It's probably encompassing more.
Yeah, because then it encompasses facet injuries. It covers, herniated discs, the back spasms that people get, spondylolisthesis, spondylitis.
So all these like kind of like
everything,
bone fractures,
piriformis syndrome,
whatever it is.
Yeah, everything. It's all related in very much a big group.
Why is back pain such a big issue? Why is it something that we should be looking into? And why shouldn't we be just kind of like walking past this and going like, it's not a big deal. It's just like, we'll wait it out.
If anybody's had back pain before, they will know that it really is a horrible thing to feel. Like they move their arms, they cough, they sneeze, and they will have pain, and it's not going to be fun to live their life or anything like that. So for those people that had only like moderate amounts of pain every single day, it's not fun to have. It kind of becomes a way of life, and that's not something that we should be dealing with. We shouldn't have back pain every time we lift something, because then we're worried that later in life it'll change into arthritis or something like that, like progress into arthritis, because we're just overdoing it, and that's how the body reacts. Wear and tear, eventually it becomes arthritis or something else, stenosis. So we don't want to just leave it because, just a rambling of information. But eventually we don't want it to lead into, something, chronic issues or anything like that, because it becomes a very simple issue that we could fix right now and then progresses into something that we cannot undo.
What is the biggest problem with the way people are treating their back pain? What should they not be doing anymore? Because we know that people, we've spoken about it, people have a lot of issues with back pain, usually movement problems and stuff like that. What is one thing that is almost like we need to stop doing this because it's not fixing the problem, it's only like making it worse?
Stretching, I would say, is the biggest thing, because that's one of the solutions that people solve. Stretching with no purpose, or stretching knowing that it feels good for the time being, and then all of a sudden coming back 20 minutes later, and then all of a sudden just being...
So no like real reason to stretch, just stretching to stretch.
Stretching because there's the back stretches or the hamstring stretches, because they think that they have tight hamstrings, which feels like, it'll help the back too. It feels good on the back, but you need to make sure that the stretch is actually important.
Yeah. What about like painkillers?
Well, I can't really discuss painkillers because it's not really my field, but a pharmacist would be better. But it is a Band-Aid, technically. Yeah. If you need to do things, if you need to get rid of the pain to be able to live your life, yes, but you have to be careful because it does numb. It does numb the effects. So sometimes people take painkillers, go through their day, and then all of a sudden... And
they're never really solving it. They're just kind of like...
Yeah, they're hiding whatever irritation is happening. And then all of a sudden, they're like, well, my pain's still there. Well, because you're probably missing that one thing or two things that you're doing that's causing more problems.
Someone who has back pain that's movement related. I know it's hard to talk about it because it could come from so many different things. Yeah. What are three areas that they should be kind of paying attention to, 3 parts of their life that they should be paying attention to that would stop them from or prevent the majority of back pain? I know we're not going to hit everybody because there's so many things, but if you would say like maybe top 2 or 3 things that people are doing that they should be potentially avoiding or should be changing that habit that would allow them to not have back pain, what would that be?
I usually go with first making sure that their abdominals are engaged, because we have a daily life of being seated most of the time, and then they can become a little bit tired, and there's a weird effect where once you have back pain, your abs turn off, which is really not what we want. So we need to re-engage them, wake them up a little bit.
So usually when someone has back pain, abs turn off.
Yes. We don't know why. It just happens.
It just happens.
Or maybe they do know. We do know why now, but it's been a while since it's just a mechanism that happens, a protective mechanism. And I would say that sitting all day would be a big factor because we're tightening the hip flexors, and we're better when we move around. We're meant to move around, so it's better that I prefer to make people have a sit-to-stand desk most of the time so they can adjust their...
It's a sit-to-stand desk.
Yeah. They can adjust their posture.
Coincidentally, the back expert of our entire business does not have a sit-to-stand desk. I'm just saying.
I don't, but I sit to stand all the time.
That's true.
Most of the time, I can't be seated. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Well, it's just funny because I actually have the sit-to-stand desk, and I don't. And you don't, and you're the back person.
But this desk is huge. I won't fit in my office.
Yeah, we just get a smaller one. They have them at IKEA. That's what this is.
Oh.
They have like one that's like here. Do you want to switch your desk? We're switching your desk. It's happening. Just did. I have a problem. I keep looking at that little screen there instead of looking into the lens. I do it all the time.
I look at your eyes all the time when you're filming me. So.
Yeah, I know. It's just as bad. You're on camera when we're filming her. Oh my God, you guys should see some of those things. She's like staring off into the wilderness. It's like,
I like eye contact.
Blah, blah, blah. It's like, why are you looking at me? I'm not. And I have to like hide my head behind the camera so that she stares at the lens. And
the third thing would be your daily activities. So if people bend down and pick up something, it's usually not with the heavy things. People have really good posture when they're lifting like heavy boxes.
Have no choice. You just can't
exactly.
do it without.
But like when they're lifting, if they're already irritated and they're lifting up, I don't know, a box of Kleenex or something like that from the floor, they tend to just like bend over, and then they're like, well, my back just seized. And then that's pretty much why it's like seems to be like, I picked up something from the floor. That's the cause of why my back hurts. It's been a buildup. It's been waiting to happen.
I've got a good one. So many people that I deal with, or a lot of individuals that I talk to, or just some people I read up on stuff, hear people in conversation. They say that running is bad for your back.
It would be if you don't have your abs engaged. I find that it puts a lot of strain because your back muscles do your hip extension. Mm-hmm. And so you're hip extending with your back muscles instead of...
So bad technique causes...
That's it. Essentially, that's what it is. So they think they're actually doing well. So get your fixed glutes, hamstrings.
So coincidentally, people should be moving better to avoid back pain.
Yeah. That's
Funny how that is.
That's what we like.
74 episodes of me telling people to move better. Back expert comes in. Why am I getting back pain when I run? Move better. Problem solved. Closing remarks. Any last messages? What exercise could people do? What daily exercise, if you had to pick one exercise that would probably like just help the most, what would it be?
I would say engage the abs. That's the first thing that I introduced.
Assuming you've done.
Oh, they've done that?
Assuming you've done that. Assuming you're engaging your abs, what exercise could you do daily that would be like, you would be like, yeah, do this daily, and it's a great way to start your day?
That's a good question. Depends on what level. I would say learn how to do how bad of a back pain, because now we're dealing with like everything.
Like, oh yeah. Oh,
this is like dealing.
Someone doesn't have a hernia. It's not like it's just movement related. They're just not strong. They're doing just their movements off. What would you give them?
Oh, so many things.
Like you've been cleared from a doctor to do exercises and stuff like that. They're just telling you to go do some therapy. And
I would make sure that they have a hip hinge going. So like a stiff leg deadlift type of thing, because then that means that their hips have full mobility. Mm-hmm. They're able to engage glutes, hamstrings, everything, and then they take it away from their lower back, and that would help. That's one of the exercises that I teach when people are for everyday activities that they do, to make sure that everything comes from the hips and not from the back. That's would be a basic thing. I wouldn't tell them stiff leg deadlifts or Romanian deadlift, but it would be kind of like teaching them how to hip hinge.
Hip bridge?
Yeah, and that would also go with, no, not a hip bridge, hip hinging. So like bending from the hips. Like.
Oh, you mean standing though? Standing,
yeah. Okay, but I would also teach them how to sit and stand properly, and it would kind of be like a two for one type of situation. So they would, because everybody sits and stands often. So if you're doing that incorrectly, that's a lot of pain in your back.
Cool.
Over the day.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being on the show. Get back in your office, get back to work. Until that next time, guys, keep building that foundation.